Hello and welcome to Tuesday. Now, yesterday we talked about the 3D, but one thing that I did yesterday, I was out and about doing some. Did I mention that? I was at the dentist. Um, yeah, I went to the dentist yesterday and perfectly fine. My appointment was for 12, and I ended up waiting there for like 45 minutes before they actually saw me. And I have impeccable oral hygiene, so my appointments tend to be quick. And I was talking with somebody about this today, and I was saying, oh, well, I time how long my cleanings are, right? Typically you'll get the x ray and whatever, but, when the dentist actually starts poking and prodding at your mouth and using the polish, um, I time them. And it stems from, when you're younger, you're going to the dentist with your siblings and your parents, and, you all go at the same time. So what would normally take an appointment being a couple minutes turns out to be like an hour or so. And it's just an extended amount of time where you're doing blank, blank, and blank, where you're just sitting in the waiting room. And I, once you start going by yourself, you start realizing, oh, wait, this entire process only took a couple minutes, right? If there's nobody waiting, then you just walk in, you sit down in the waiting room for a couple minutes, and then you just go get your cleaning, and then you walk out. That's it. And that to me is, once that started happening, I started timing it. And I've probably talked about this before, right? But to me, it's just when somebody's actively talking to me about it, it's just, oh, wait, I guess this is some kind of weird niche thing that I do. But it's also kind of making that more exciting, right? In a way, cleaning should not be more than 10 minutes, assuming you have great oral hygiene. You floss regularly, brush your teeth every day, so on and so forth. But, typically I would be 8 minutes. Yesterday it was 6 minutes, which is a new record for me, and I think one that won't be topped. But it would have been shorter had the dental assistant not been talking with the dentist. And it's just, I could have, it could have been even shorter. But I was speaking to somebody about this, and they're like, that's so weird. But they were also saying, oh yeah, no, I have, I floss regularly, like I have really good teeth and whatever. But they also were saying, I'm gonna start doing that, which is really neat. So I don't know, I guess time time your medical appointments in a way, just see how long, for dentists especially, but for some doctors it could be like, when I had my physical only a couple weeks ago, it was like the doctor saw me for 2 minutes and that was it. And in that case, it's like you want it to be a bit longer, right? But it's so whatever. But for some things like a routine cleaning at the dentist, just, yeah, time your dental work, right? It's really interesting to see if you're really good at cleaning, like taking care of your teeth and your oral hygiene, then how well you can, or how fast you can get in and out of there. Assuming you don't have to wait for 45 minutes, of course. But what can you do? Anyway, I think that's where I'm going to call it here for today. Not really much happened today, honestly. It was just talking to that person today. And, my brother had some of his friends over and we were just hanging out and playing some cup pong. But that was it, really. Nothing too crazy, but ooh, this week is going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to, Thursday and the weekend. So more on that later. But for now, thank you all for watching. I hope to see you tomorrow. And until then, later.